Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. So in today's video we are going to be doing a tier list today, and we are going to be looking at every Premier League side's season. I'm going to be ranking it. So I am just going to throw this out there that I am simply doing Premier League only. So I will not be looking at their performances in Champions League, Europa League, FA Cup, all that. I'm just going to be ranking them based on their Premier League season because I think that's fair for most teams to do so. So yeah, if this was overall, like for example Liverpool would easily be legendary, but you know, just throwing it out there. Now we're going to be ranking each club. I want you guys in the comments below to be letting me know. Do you agree with my rankings? Do you think I should change any of these rankings? And what would you rank your team season? So we've got a lot of tiers here. We've got legendary, we've got good, average, disappointed, and delete the season. Just hope it never happened. But yeah, let's start. Who should we start with? I think we should start with an easy one. Let's get Norwich. Easy, delete the season. They'll definitely hope this season never happened. Erase it from their memories very quickly. It's been a shocking season from them. I think in previous seasons they've probably done better than this. This is one of the worst Norwich sides I've seen, and that's saying something because Norwich have had a lot of bad sides. So yeah, not really a debate there. Next, I think we should go with Southampton. This will be interesting. Now, Southampton, at the start of the season, or at least for the first half of the season, it was good, I would say. But the second half of the season has been delete the season, so I'm not too sure now, to be honest. I believe they finished 15th, which is average, but you could argue it's disappointing because of where they were previously in the season. But I'm gonna go average simply because I think 15th is, like, with that squad, it's pretty decent. It's not bad. And next up, we'll go with West Ham. West Ham, I'm putting good. As I said before, this is just Premier League. I think if this was overall for the season, it's probably up there because they got to a Europa League semi-final, which was fantastic for West Ham. But it's a good season. Finishing 7th is very good for West Ham. They're probably unlucky not to get 6th. If they got 6th, it would have been even better. But 7th place is a good season for West Ham. It's not quite legendary, but it's a good season. Next up, we'll go for Newcastle. Newcastle, they finished 11th. Now this one's interesting. I'm gonna go good. I'll go good. I think, considering the state they were in under Steve Bruce and Mike Ashley, it is a really good season to finish 11th place. And since Eddie Howe's come in, it's been legendary. But yeah, it's been a very good season, I think, for Newcastle under Eddie Howe. At least that first season was not too great. So yeah, I'll put them in good. Burnley, delete the season. It's very, very bad season for them. Their stint in the Premier League is finally over. Probably rightfully so. They spend basically nothing. That team was aging. They had no depth, not a lack of quality. So, like, I think it was a matter of time before they got relegated. unfortunately for Burnley got relegated this season. They were very close in staying up, but unfortunately for them, they didn't quite do it. Next up, we will go for Wolves. 10th place finish for Wolves. I'll go average. It was looking like it was going to be good, but similar to Southampton, the first half of the season they were legendary. Really, they were pushing actually for European places, but they've completely collapsed on the second half of the season. And 10th place is still good for Wolves in Bruno Lage's first season, but I think just because of the collapse, they have to go with Southampton in average for me. But I do expect better things from them next season now. Let's get into the big six. Let's start with Chelsea. For me, it's disappointed. You could argue maybe average. I'm being a little bit harsh, but then I'm disappointed. But I think bringing in Lukaku, most people thought he would be amazing. Most people actually thought they would be in the title race. Many predicted to win the league. Unfortunately, I did do that. But yeah, I think to be so far away from Man City and Liverpool is not good for Chelsea standards. And yeah, I think they're going to need, obviously they've had unforeseen circumstances with whole sanction things, injuries, etc. But still, it's been a disappointing season. They have disappointed this year for me, Chelsea. Next, we'll go for Spurs. Spurs, good season, getting top four. Rather against the odds, really. I don't want to put them in legendary because I think while they have been good under Conte, I think one of the reasons they're in the top four is because Arsenal collapsed. If Arsenal didn't bottle it towards the back end of the season, Tottenham wouldn't be in the top four. So that's why I'm going to put them in good. But it's been a really good spell under Antonio Conte. He's done well, and I'm really excited to see what Conte can do with this Spurs side if he gets backed this summer, which it looks like he might be. I think he could really take this team to the next level and push for with the likes of Chelsea. But yeah, good season, getting top four is very good for Spurs. Next up, we'll go for Everton. Now, it's one of these two. Do I want to disappointed delete the season? It's got to be delete the season, right? Finishing 16th for Everton. It doesn't matter that they didn't spend basically anything in summer. It doesn't matter. It's still awful season. They did well to stay up under Lampard. Fair play to him. That home form really did well for them, but it's still a tragic season, and they're going to be hoping that they get a bit of investment in the summer. Lampard can build this squad because it is quite a bad squad, and they can just be away from a relegation battle next season. But yeah, delete the season. Next, we'll go for Brentford. Brentford 13th, and I'm going to put them in legendary because this is their first ever season in the Premier League, and they've managed to finish 13th. That's an incredible achievement from them. They started off pretty well, and then they started dipping in form. Then they brought in Eriksen, then they've shot right up to finish 13th. Finished 11 points clear of a relegation zone in your first ever season in the Premier League. Most of them players not played in the Premier League as well. It's a really fantastic achievement, and I think Thomas Frank's done a good job with Brentford there. Next, we'll go for Man City, another legendary easy, winning the league, 93 points. What is that? 4 in 5 years now. That's 2 on the spin now. It's absolutely incredible the levels Man City are reaching. It's really scary the amount of times they win this league. And to do it this year against a resurgent Liverpool side who've pushed them all the way, it's fantastic, especially the way they won it on that last day. It's fantastic and will definitely be remembered as a legendary title win. Leeds, delete the seasonal disappointed. One of them. I think if I put Everton in there, I kind of have to put Leeds in there. Or actually, okay, I'm gonna put delete the season. They finished 17th. If they were so close in getting relegated, so that's why I have to put them there, because I know they've had injuries and they've changed their manager and all that. They didn't get much investment, but still, you would have expected Leeds not to have finished 17th. I think Jesse Marsh to Lampard has done a pretty good job in managing to steer them away from relegation. But yeah, it's been a bad season, and similarly to Everton, they're hoping they're going to get some investment in the summer and they can steer away from that relegation zone next year. Next up, we'll go for Arsenal. Arsenal, I'm putting good. I think finishing 5th is very good. I think at the start of the season, most people didn't think they would finish 5th. And to finish 2 points off the top 4 is very good. However, the fact that they had top 4 in their hands and they bottled it, it brings them down slightly. They could have gone into average because of that, but I will keep them at good simply because I think it's been a good season in terms of developing the players as well as the finish. They finished 5th in the league, which is good, satisfactory. They've developed the squad very well. It looks like they have an identity now, so that's why I'll put them in good. Next up, we will go for Brighton. Brighton, I'm going to put them in legendary. Brighton, this is their highest ever finish in the Premier League. They've managed to finish in the top half of the Premier League for the first time ever, finishing 9th place. They were only 5 points off a European spot. And for a club of Brighton size, they don't get much investment. Small club, really. No disrespect to Brighton there, but they are. To finish 9th is an incredible achievement by Potter and Brighton. Such a well-run club, and yeah, it's a fantastic achievement, especially considering they lost 2 of their best centre-backs in Dan Burn and Ben White this season. Yeah, they're still managed to get a top-half finish. That's incredible. Next, we'll go for Man United. Pretty easy. Delete the season. Finished 6th, their lowest ever points tally in the Premier League. 58 points, that's tragic. They just about managed to get into Europa League. They were very lucky they didn't get Conference League. It's been an absolute shambles by Man United, and yeah, hopefully for them under Ten Hag, they can be way better than they have been, because under Ragnick and Ollie this season, it's just been horrible. Absolutely horrible. Next, we will go for Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace are putting good, I think. Yeah, good. I think if they had managed to get top half, I would have put them in legendary, but they managed to finish 12th, which is really good. 48 points, well clear of relegation. They played some really good stuff. And yeah, they've got such an exciting young team. I'm really keen to see how this side develops. And I think if they all stay together next year, if they can somehow manage to get Conor Gallagher back as well, I think this team could push for top 10 finish easily. And Patrick Vieira's done a very good job at Palace. So yeah, good season for them. Not so good season for Watford. Delete the season. Relegated yet again. 23 points. That's a joke, really. 23 points. That is really, really bad. So many managers, and yeah. But the funny thing is, I probably expect to see them not next year, the year after in the Premier League again. That's just the way Watford are. So yeah, delete the season, just awful year for them. Final three teams now. We'll go for Aston Villa. Aston Villa, disappointed to delete the season for me. I think delete the season a little bit harsh, so I'm going to go disappointed. Actually, you know what? I'm going to delete the season. It's a bit harsh, but I think so many people at the start of the year predicted Villa would be like, I think if you predicted them 10th, people would be like, what? That's quite low. Most people actually thought they would be pushing really hard for that European spots. Many people even put Villa over Arsenal, but they literally sacked them. I think they were the first ones to sack their manager after Watford, and they finished 14th under Gerrard. Under Gerrard, things didn't really get too better. They are slightly better, but they're not great. So yeah, delete the season for me. Leicester, I think it's average. Maybe disappointed. I'm gonna go average simply because of their injuries. It was certainly delete the season earlier on. They were really bad in the first half of the season, but they picked up form. I'll give that to them. In the second half, and they managed to finish 8th, which is actually good, but I think it's average because of the injuries they had. So yeah. And finally, Liverpool. It's good or legendary for me. If this was not Premier League only, it would be legendary, but because it's Premier League, it might be good. I'm gonna go good. I'm gonna go I'll go legendary. I think because when you look back on it in 10 years, you will look back on this season and be like, wow, what a team Liverpool were, pushing Man City all the way. We had two top teams. So that's why I'm going to put legendary. I think you could argue good simply based on Prem, just because they didn't win it, they came second, but to finish with 92 points, or 93, I can't remember, it's really, really fantastic. In most other leagues, that wins the division. So I'm going to put them in legendary, but there we have it. Let me know in the comments, do you agree with all these picks? Which ones would you change? And if you have enjoyed, please leave a like, consider subscribing, and I will see you in another video. Peace.